Hello everyone, my name is Sairaj Chaudhari and welcome to my today's video on ethical dilemmas in human resource management. In this video, we will be exploring a case study titled Variation-23 to understand some of the complex ethical challenges in HR professionals face in the workplace. Now coming to the overview of ethical dilemmas in human resource management. Before we go to the case study, let's briefly talk about what ethical dilemmas in human resource management are. Unethical dilemmas occurs when a person is faced with a decision where they have to choose between two options, both of which are important but could conflict with each other. In human resource management, these dilemmas can involve decision about employee treatment, company policies, discrimination, privacy, or fairness. HR professionals must balance these needs of the organization with the right and being of employees, which can often lead to conflicting priorities. Now, I would like to introducing the case study variation 23. Now, let us focus on the case study variation 23. In this case, an HR manager is tasked with implementing a new company policy related to employee performance evaluation. The policy requires employees to meet certain performance metrics or face potential penalties such as salary reduction or demotions. However, the dilemmas arise when it's discovered that the performance metrics are unrealistic for some employees, particularly those in lower position. These employees are unable to meet the expectation due to factor outside of their control, like lack of resources or training. On the other hand, the company wants to maintain its higher performance and improve productivity, which is why the policy was created in the first place. Now let us come to the ethical dilemma breakdown. The core ethical dilemma in this case is about fairness. Should the HR manager enforce the policy as it is even tough, it might lead to unfair consequences for some employees, or should the manager advocate for a changes to the policy to ensure that employees are not unfairly penalized? There are few ethical principles to consider here. First is fairness and equity. There should be every employee be judged by the same performance metrics, or should the system be adjusted for different roles and circumstances? Second, transparency and honesty. Should the company be transparent about the challenges employee face, and should they be honest about the limitations or the policy? Third one is responsibility. Who is responsible for the situation? The company for setting unrealistic targets, or the HR department for not pushing back on the policy? Now coming to the options for resolving dilemmas. In dealing with dilemmas, the HR manager has several options. First option is implement the policy as it is. This could be seen as following company orders, but it might lead to demoralize employees and lower trust in HR. This could damage the company's reputation in long run. Modify the policy. The HR manager could push for adjustment to the policy to make target more realistic. For example, they could propose different standard for employee in lower levels position, or offer additional support to help them meet expectation. Third one is seek compromise. The HR manager could suggest a middle ground, such as giving employee more time to meet performance goal, or offering non-penalizing support programs like additional training or coaching. And last one is open dialogue with employees. The HR manager could choose to communicate openly with employees about the policy challenges. This could build trust but may require some tough conversation. about what possible and what's not. Now coming to the conclusion, so what can we learn from the variation 23 case study? First, human resource professionals face difficult ethical decisions that require balancing the needs of the company with the rights and well-being of employees. In this case, the HR manager has to consider the fairness of the policy, and it will affect employees who are struggling to meet unrealistic expectations. The key takeaway is that ethics in human resource management is not just about following rules, it's about making decisions and that respect people and treat them fairly. HR managers should be proactive in identifying potential issues and work to find solutions that are just equitable for all employees. Thank you.